Hello guys, LifeHackster here. Time of the year again to show what smart home security products I use for our home. And I made these videos every year, and now we have the 2025 edition. These are going to be mostly my security camera setup. Also just note, because of this channel, I use multiple brands, mostly to have experience using them long term. Personally, if I don't have a channel, I'll be sticking to 2 to 3 brands. And I know a lot of you will say, why not just one system? Well, my answer to that is, if one system fails, you have a backup. You don't want to rely on one ecosystem. Also, I have review videos of all these cameras, and I will link some below, or you can always search them in my channel. Let's start in the front of the garage. On the side here is being monitored by my Eufy Outdoor Cam E220. And this one records continuously 24/7 on the Eufy hub. I still have the Ring wall light here, which has been working good, and this is the last few smart lights from Ring that I'm using. I now have the Reolink CX810 monitoring the front garage area, and together with a couple of CX410s, they are the ones monitoring my whole front yard. I have the Reolink NVR system as my main security camera setup in our house, and that streams to a dedicated monitor. I actually have 2 setups and one here in my office. So anybody inside the house is able to see the outside in real time at any given time. This is also hooked up to a backup UPS, which worked flawlessly for at least 2 to 2.5 hours during a recent power outage. It didn't shut down after 2 hours, the power just went back on. I also have the Eufy Floodlight Cam E340 monitoring my front garage area ever since I reviewed it about a year ago, and has been working good. On the other side, I have the Eufy Cam S3 Pro, which Eufy recently released, and also has been working good. Battery life has been hovering about 90% in the last 30 days. Going in front of the house, I've been using the Reolink doorbell for about 2 years now. This is their Wi-Fi model, but this is wired into my network, so it doesn't use Wi-Fi. And because it is wired in, it is pretty responsive. As to smart lock, I still use the Eufy Smart Lock Touch and Wi-Fi, and I think this is now their S230 model. Using this for 3 years now, no problems. Just some cosmetic issues in the face because of age, but has been working day in and day out, and probably 95% of use is using the fingerprint to lock and unlock it. I barely use the app. Battery life around 4 to 5 months, and I just swap out the rechargeable batteries. This front door area is also being monitored by my Wisecam OG, and our other car over there is being monitored by the OG3X. And if we move up right here in our wall light, I have the Wisecam V4 being powered by the Wise lamp socket adapter. I'll talk more about Wise and why I have this set up later in the video. Going to the other side of the house, this is being monitored by the Eufy wall light. This just have a delay in the notifications, but has been reliable in its detection. And going to my side yard, try to listen. Yep, that's my CX410 making some noises there, to prompt anyone to look up to have a clear view of their face. I made a video about this and how to set it up, and I will link it down in the description down below. And here in the corner, one of my oldest Ring camera, the Spotlight Cam mount. Just see how old this is, 7 years old, and this is still working, except for one thing, which I just noticed recently. The plastic lens fell off, just like what happened to my original Ring Floodlight Cam years ago. I'm not sure when it fell off, and I thought the lens is just dirty because the footage has been a bit cloudy for a while now. But I guess the moisture has seeped into the lens, and I'll be replacing this soon. As to my backyard, I have multiple cameras here, mostly for long-term testing. I have another Eufy wall light, and also the Reolink Altas, which have been working pretty good. It hasn't run out of battery life yet with pre-recording on, but I also turned off its spotlights because even with its low light sensor, when it gets too dark, its spotlights will turn on continuously, well, until there is enough light again, which definitely will drain its batteries. I also have the Eufy Solocam S340 here, no issues, and I have this for more than a year now. My backyard is also being monitored by Reolink's Duo V2 vandal-proof camera. And with just this one camera, it can monitor my whole backyard. Also, I haven't cleaned the dome lens since I installed this several weeks ago, and no issues with dirt glare at night with its infrared LEDs on. I'll be removing this Duo V3 soon when I test other cameras, and same thing with the Eufy Cam S3 Pro, which is currently wired in when I made the update video a video ago. I have another Eufy wall light here, But here in my back patio is my oldest Ring camera and my oldest security camera that is still working without issues. This is the version 1 of the Ring Spotlight Cam wired plug-in, almost 7.5 years. This is holding up because it is protected from the elements. I also have the Tapo Color Pro here, which is directly wired in a junction box, and I made a video on how this is done, which I'll also link down below. On my other side of the yard, aside from another Reolink, I also have Eufy's Cam 3C here, which is hooked up to a solar panel and has been pretty reliable in detecting motion in the side yard. My back patio door also has a Eufy Smart Lock, and currently we are using the Eufy Smart Lock E30, which is Matter and Apple HomeKit compatible. Inside, I still have Eufy's first gen pan and tilt indoor camera in the ceiling, and I'll be replacing this soon, either with the Eufy Indoor Cam S350 or Reolink's FEW. Comment down below which one I will replace it with. I've been using the S350 for a while now, but I currently have tested the more affordable but also in 4K Eufy Indoor Cam E30, which I'll be keeping in this setup. I also have the Wisecam Pan version 3 in another part of the house and has been working pretty good. As to the home alarm, I still and will still be continuing to use the Ring alarm with professional monitoring. No issues there. I also still have their smart sensors inside the house, like their smoke and CO detectors linked to the Ring alarm, and also still been using the Yolink water and leak sensors. I also have a couple from Rings and Eufy's. Now, some of you might ask why I'm keeping a couple of Ring cameras in my backyard and also the Wise cameras in the front. I could narrow this down to just one brand eventually, but my main reasoning is I want to keep a few cameras that upload to the cloud. This is just a backup just in case. I'll make a separate video eventually on this, comparing local versus cloud recording and why you need both to cover all your bases. I also upgraded my smart lighting and got rid of most of my Ring smart lights and replaced them with Eufy's. They're permanent lighting and pathway lights. Aside from easily changing it to whatever festive season we are in, it is also my everyday ambient lighting setup in the front and back of the house. And it integrates easily with Eufy cameras that when someone is coming to my house at 2 o'clock in the morning, they will be greeted by this. As to other smart, or what I call convenience devices inside our home, we have multiple smart switches from Treat Life and Tapo, which I use Alex A to control them. Turn on living room light. Turn on living room fan. According to the autopsy, cause of death was starvation. And I'm still using SwitchBot's blind tilt, which I have set it in a schedule. Haven't had any issues. I did have to charge, I think, 2 of them just one time a year, but mostly the solar panel is able to keep them charged. Well, I think that's everything. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.